Before we go on with our conversation, I would like to take you live to the coastal city in the coastal town where prosecution of cases of the Shakahola massacre cases are ongoing, where all 95 suspects are currently appearing before the Mombasa law courts, and of course they will be charged with 238 counts of manslaughter, contrary to Section 202 as read with Section 205 of the Constitution. As you can see, my colleague, that is Junei Karisa, is already at the law courts. Junei, what more can you tell us about this ongoing Shakahola case?
Good morning. We are coming to you live from the Mombasa law courts this morning. Controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie, accompanied by 94 other suspects, will be arraigned here at the Mombasa law courts on account of manslaughter. They are being charged with 238 counts of manslaughter. Now, on Thursday, they will 35 or 36 of them will be heading to the Tononoka children, 39 suspects amongst the 95 suspects will be heading to the Tononoka children's courts, and there they will be answering to charges of torture against children, as well as several other accounts of assault, including bodily harm. These are 39 out of 95 suspects who will be answering to those charges. Now, this is a process that has really derailed due to several circumstances. This is a process that started way back last year in April. This is when the police and an ongoing alleged cult in Shakahola in Malindi constituency, Kilifi County. This is where intensive investigation was begun in that particular area, and from there they were able to exhume several bodies. Up until now, over 420 bodies have been exhumed and recovered from that place as investigation continues. Up until now, only 30 of the 400 over 400 bodies have been identified. DNA has tested positive of whom they are. According to those performing this DNA procedure, is that this is an expensive process, and also those people who have been able to submit their DNA samples are close to 200. Now, if you look at the statistics, both numbers and differentiate, there is a wide gap. So they have not been able to conclusively hasten the process due to the expense issues of the DNA procedure that is ongoing at the Malindi General Hospital. Also, over 400 bodies have been exhumed by Friday last week. It is an ongoing process. This is phase 7 of the exhumation process that is ongoing since the Shakahola massacre tragedy began in April last year. Now, today we are awaiting the arrival of the controversial preacher, Paul Mackenzie, who will be here accompanied by the 95 suspects. They will be answering to charges individually, pleading whether it is they're guilty or not. Since the phase 1 began of the exhumation, they have been in remand at the Shimolatewa prisons. That is where they have been laying low. They have been appearing before the Chanzu law courts, where they have been putting forth their requests on how they have been treated. Their lawyers have been arguing their cases. The DPP in turn has also been giving his submissions as to why they should stay in remand this long. So it's been 8-9 months for these suspects to remain in remand, and today is the day that they will be entering into a plea as to the charges that they will be read upon in before the magistrate court. So we are waiting the arrival. They are yet to arrive here at the the Mombasa law courts here at the CBD. This is a process that will take a day long. According to the magistrate, it might spill over to the next day because these are 95 suspects, each individually answering to that account, whether they're pleading guilty or not guilty. So it is a process that is going to be a lengthy one. Once they conclude, then they will give direction on what next after they have entered into plea. Will they be issued a bail? Will they be let go with a bail, or will they still remain? Those are the arguments that we're looking forward to hear from the DPP side and of course their lawyers as to how the case will proceed. But even after answering to these charges, on Thursday, we also have, they have to honor a debt with the Tononoka Children's Court to answer to the assault charges as well as other offenses against children, and they will also be entering a plea. It is a tedious process, 39 suspects also on Thursday. So it is a process that will derail, but of course at the end we will know the way forward, the conclusion of the verdict, the courts will pronounce themselves for us to understand the direction that this case will take. Again, it has been 9 months since these suspects have been taken into police custody. They have yet to be read for the charges. Today is the day that they are being read for their charges. From here, the court will pronounce the direction that this case will take, and we will be giving you live updates once those conclusions or the directions given by the magistrates are issued. And from here, then we'll know whether or not the controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie will still remain under police custody or will be let out on bail, or what directions the court will be giving out. However, on Thursday, he has to again appear before the Tononoka law courts and the children's courts so that they can answer to more charges. So we are here. At least this is a positive plea or direction for Mackenzie's side, because they have been staying in police custody for so long. In the months back, we had Paul Mackenzie himself pleading with the courts on lighter treatment because he was alleging that they are being given unfair treatment. The magistrate at the Shanzu Law Courts proceeded to ensure that they were being given rightful conditions to live by while they were being held in remand at the Shanzu prison, or the remand in Shanzu. So we are awaiting at the Shimolatewa remand. So we are waiting for their arrival for the case. It was supposed to start at 10:30, but we are still waiting. We are here the whole day just to pitch camp and understand the direction that this will take. We'll give you a more conclusive update once they arrive, or at the top of the hour at 1 o'clock, on the direction that the case is taking. So, and of course on Thursday we'll be giving you those live proceedings. But as for now, allow me to hand it back to you in studio as we wait for the arrival of controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie, accompanied by 94 suspects who were taken into police custody over 9 months, 9 months since last year. So for now, I hand it back to you in studio as we wait for that. Also, we have seen directions from the office of the DPP. They are trying their best because the investigation that is currently ongoing, it is a very tedious one. As media, we were let in that phase 1 investigation, and it was not a very pleasant one. It was a horrific experience. However, it gave way for the detectives and the investigators to unearth some of these bodies that were buried close to a year ago. According to the ideologies that Paul Mackenzie was preaching, he had announced that by August last year, they had announced that the world was ending. So he had commanded or shared or advised the congregants to fast to death until that. So from there now, it became a very controversial matter, and that is why we are here today. So we are awaiting for that, the arrival of Paul Mackenzie and 94 other suspects, and of course we'll give you a more conclusive update at the top of the hour. For now, I hand it back to you in studio.
Thank you so much. That is our reporter Junei Karisa reporting from the Mombasa Law Courts, where we do understand the controversial preacher, that is Paul Mackenzie, will be appearing before the Mombasa Law Courts, and of course we'll duly inform you in our subsequent bulletin.